involvement in this kind of adoption process, like this whole process that's going on right now?
Okay, so Grand Valley Horse Rescue operates Project Cirrus, and our job is to protect the titled Mustangs in western Colorado. So we go to all of the auctions, we contact people. A lot of people contact us and say, we have a Mustang that we can't handle. So we have a network of different trainers in the western slope, and we hook the horse up with the right trainer to get them safe, and so they don't end up in a kill pen or a slaughter plot point. When they rounded up the little book clips last fall and planned this adoption, some of those little book clips that are going to be coming off will probably be sales authority horses, which means they will not be up for adoption, they'll be up for sale. Now I have a sales authority horse here on the property, and what's the difference is when the BLM brands Mustangs up for adoption, it's a straight brand. When they're sales authority, they have an extra mark on their neck. Now the sales authority horses will be for sale, and that puts them in danger. So our involvement with the upcoming adoption is for any horse that's a sales authority horse, we're going to make sure that they get a good home or they end up in the Craig Sanctuary. We're working with the sanctuary in Craig to make sure that not one of the little book clip Mustangs coming up for adoption at the Mustang Summit at the end of June will end up going back to Canyon City.
Gotcha. And what is this process of taking these wild horses and getting them ready for adoption like?
The horses come in for adoption, they are unhandled, not touchable, okay? I refer to them as feral. Now a feral horse, depending on their age, is fairly easy to gentle. You get a yearling, a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old, up until about the age of 8, you can gentle them fairly easily. When they get past 8, sometimes they're more reluctant to bond and trust, and it takes a longer period of time. We're concerned about some very senior horses that came off the little book clips. They're in their 20s, late teens and 20s. They're not going to adapt to domestic life well, so we're hoping we can get those horses to the sanctuary and trail.
And what is that process like for those older horses?
What we would do is if they came in as sales authority horses, where they had the mark and we were just buying them, we would just buy them straight out. I know the sanctuary trailers will be there, and we'll just load them up onto the trailers and take them directly to the sanctuary. Those that are older, that did not come in as sales authority horses but as adoptable, we are working on making them a list of adopters. And again, we will take them up to the sanctuary, because the sanctuary has a place where we can hold them until they're titled and owned by somebody or the sanctuary.
How much, you said some of them are for adoption, some of them are for sale. How much would one cost?
$125.
$125 for one horse?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that's probably the minimum bid on the adopted horses. Now, the Little Bit Cliff Mustangs and the Peons Mustangs both are very sought after horses because they make incredibly smart, intelligent, very sound horses for the show ring or for kids or on the trail. And so usually there's not a huge problem getting them adopted out.
Mm-hmm. And what, ethically, this process, what is it, how do you believe it is like the best option for them?
For the horses?
Yes.
If they're young, like I said, the younger they are, the more adaptable they are to be domesticated. If you get a nice young yearling or a 2-year-old that came in, you have certain fencing requirements by the BLM. There's so certain, you have to be an approved adopter by the BLM, and their process to being an adopter is very straightforward. They tell you exactly what they need on their website, and you bring the horse in and you gentle it, and from that process then you go ahead and train it into the type of horse that you would like. It's very, I wouldn't say it's easy. It takes an enormous amount of patience, but it can be one of the most rewarding things anybody did. if anybody's interested, on adopting, we have a Pedon's Mustang adoption on April 12th in Castle Rock, Colorado.
Okay,
That's Captain Jack. Welcome to the barn.
So, I'm sure some people have concerns that these horses could go to maybe a home that doesn't take care of them as well. How do you make sure that they go to a place where they can live a happy life?
Okay, so if a horse ends up in a place that doesn't work out, that's where Grand Valley Horse Rescue's Project Cirrus comes in. And that's why in the last, since May 1st, 2022, when we brought this horse in for the first time, she's been adopted out and boomeranged back twice to us. So she's gonna stay here for a while. But that's where we come in. And we either hook that person up with a trainer and say, this person's gonna help you train the horse, or we find a new home for it, or if the horse has certain needs, then we will accept it into our rescue. We currently have 6 Mustangs at our rescue under Project Cirrus.
From my understanding, it sounds, just from what I've read up on, it sounds like there are several options. Just from bringing the wild horses in, it's supposed to give them like better options than living in the wild, but it's supposed to be better for them than obviously like euthanization or other things like that. How does this process give them the best option for like their life, I guess?
Alright, question again, reword it.
Okay.
Because I was gonna go somewhere you did not want me to go, okay?
I'm sure.
The roundup of the little book clips, they took way too many horses out. And even though our governor, who represents the people of Colorado, came in with his experts saying, please don't do this, they still did it. So they took horses out that will not do well in domesticated life. That's why Grand Valley Horse Rescue has worked so hard to get the sanctuary set up, so we can get those horses that will not handle domestication well to the sanctuary.
Yeah, we talked about it a couple of times, but just another time, how are you, those horses that you think shouldn't have been taken in, how are you gonna, how does this organization give them the best available option? Like, how does give them the best treatment possible?
Okay, when the horses come in from Canyon City, there's going to be a lot of horses coming in from Canyon City. Our goal is to make sure that absolutely no horse goes back to Canyon City. There are way too many horses in Canyon City standing doing absolutely nothing.